Welcome everyone to Love of the Game. It's with Sujay and Paul, and today we're going to be doing a recap of the English Premier League or Barclays Premier League as it used to be known. So, Sujay, what are your thoughts on how the top four finished? We're going deep right in. Like, if you haven't watched the English Premier League, it's there on Star Sports. We're still on lockdown, so we're doing this on Zoom. It's there on Star Sports. It's there on Hotstar, and we're diving deep into it with the guys who won the Premier League, the top four. City won it. So, what do you think about the top four? Do you think it was like justify the top four, or should there have been any changes?
I think it's a pretty good top four actually. So nothing else. I mean, all the people who have finished in the top four, they deserve to be. I know Leicester fans will feel hardened by because I think it's been second year in the running that they have been so close in the top four till just this final 2-3 weeks, right? I mean, like this time it was so close for them. I mean, like they had it in their own hands actually. The dusty. I mean, like it was not that they were dependent on other teams. Chelsea, they were the team that they were depending on other teams to get a good result.
No, it's
I mean, like
good that you brought out Chelsea. Like if you look at the table, there's only a 1 point difference between them, Chelsea, and a 3 point gap between Liverpool. Like whereas if you look at City, they ran away with the league. Then United were there, and then Liverpool's further 5 points behind.
yes.
And then you've got Chelsea, Leicester City, West Ham, like within like 2-3 points of each other. So it seemed like it was a good year in the Premier League, like given that fans weren't there in the stadium and you're suddenly now integrating fans back. It was like the last game or two where you had fans coming back. So big ups to City. They won the league. They lost it last year. They won it this year. But what about the others? Like you say Leicester were hard done by, but what about West Ham? Didn't West Ham have a blinder of a year?
In comparison, I think we can say that they had a blinder of a year. But I also think I don't know how right I am here, but I would like to venture a guess. Not having fans in the stadium, I think that has actually helped West Ham the most. I think West Ham is one of the team, or else the unrealistic expectations or what the fans and whatever how the stadium it actually impacts the home players, right? It didn't for them this time. They were very much free. The way where the free flowing football. I think I don't know if at all we start comparing post pandemic. I mean, like half of the season, if at all we consider from last year, right? Yeah. The season was stopped in the month of the Jan and Feb, and then later on, whatever how things progressed, and they survived. They managed to survive in the Premier League, and this season, the kind of form. I mean, important players when beginning with their Michel Antonio, then Suchek. Actually, he was one of the one of the players of the season actually, and then this guy Lingard. Once he came in the month of January, the way wherein West Ham and David Moyes especially, he wasn't a bit too negative like he is known to be with teams from the lower half of the bottom or with his defensive block formations and other things. Yeah, I think with that, West Ham really did benefit from not having fans on the back all the time or anything. They had a fantastic year, to be frank. And then, yes, apart from them, Leeds had a fantastic debut in the back. Sorry, no, it's not a debut. I'm sorry. Leeds had a fantastic season after getting promoted. All thanks to Marcelo Bielsa. And it was a fun to watch Leeds play, man. I mean, like, it doesn't matter who your favorite team is or the team that you support or anything. It is always fun to watch a Leeds team. Either they will hit you for 4-5 goals or else they will concede some 3-5 goals. Okay. Somewhere, there is no middle ground. I think apart from the first game against Liverpool, I think Liverpool struggled to win that game. I think we won 4-3 or something like that. It was really a pleasure watching Leeds play this season. I'm very much excited and seeing them continue with the form and also the newcomers like Brentford, other teams. I think it's going to be a cracker of a season. And like you said, the fans coming back to the stadium. I think that will change the experience of watching this.
It changes the atmosphere, man. You can't have just imagine a football stadium without fans. I get what you're saying about West Ham, but we're going to try, hopefully, in future episodes to get one of my mates who's a lifelong West Ham fan. We're going to ask him that same question. Did West Ham benefit from not having fans? And we will see what the response is. So, guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot in store. It's just both of us just bouncing off each other for the love of all sports, all the entire spectrum of it. It's just not just football, but here today we're going to be talking about Premier League. It just finished. And also, what do you think about the dominance of the Premier League? Chelsea won the Champions League. Like, let's just backtrack. Last year, a German team won the Champions League. And then a year prior to that, an English team won. And it was an all-English final. It's so twice in 3 years, you've had English teams conquering Europe. Do you think there's a rise that the competition in the Premier League has brought about a rise for them to be doing so well in Europe?
I think Premier League has always been competitive. There is no two words about it. But we should also see that and take into consideration, I mean, it was always the Spanish teams that dominated Champions League for the last decade. And they have been, it's not surprising. They are the team that have won it the most time last 8 years, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
But one thing we have to say about Premier Leagues and their consistency is this, that there are only one or two teams like what has happened with Spanish League right now. In 2019, it was Spurs in the final and Liverpool. Yeah. And this year, it is Man City and Chelsea. It is cluster. It is not just one or two teams with regard to Premier League. And it is actually a host of teams. And that is why this league is so competitive. And yeah, it is not surprising that it was an all-English final. Chelsea were surprise winners, according to me, I think so, before the run up to the game and everything. But I think, yeah, that's a whole new different topic. We will discuss that in the later segment. Yeah.
There's a video for that, so make sure you hit the link up here. There's a link to our Champions League review. But on the back of that, I have a question. City won the Premier League, and you said Chelsea didn't look like the team to win the Champions League. They won it. City were there. Do you think City are built for the Premier League and not to win the Champions League? Like, City dominated. Like, City won the Premier League by close to 12 points. They had 83 goals for, 32 against, 51 goal difference. Okay, do you think City is built just for the Premier League and Pep's magic doesn't work in Europe for City?
No. I think the Pep's magic, the reason why people associate him with as one of the best masters to win a final, any final, a knockout game possible, it is because of that magic. I think in the final, he overused his magic. That's it. And there is nothing else to it. Let me give one stat. I think the last goal in 10 years, in all throughout his career, Pep Guardiola, before this Champions League final, has lost only one final. A Copa del Rey final. I think Cristiano Ronaldo scored that goal header with Mourinho's team. I think it was that one. I think after that, he has never conceded a goal in any cup final in his life.
Okay.
And Kai Havertz, he has never scored a Champions League goal.
Well, Sujay, don't give it all the way. We've got the Champions League talk. It's there. That video
exactly. So that is what.
Okay. But that's my question. Are City built for the Premier League?
No, it's very unfair, actually. Pep could have easily done that if at all it was any other European opponent, say like Juventus or a Barcelona or a Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, for in fact. Then I would have gone on with, maybe his tactics and all don't work in Europe and all. But no, it's a Premier League opposition. They play each and every year. Okay, at least twice a year. So it is it might be a UCL final, but it was an English team. If at all his team were built to dominate only the Premier League, then his team should have won the final because it is an English opponent. No, it was a bad day. It was a very, very bad day for City. They should have had the maiden UCL trophy, but they didn't. But that is what it is. It happened with
Kudos
Chelsea.
to Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
They
In
played a better
2008,
game.
it was unfair for Chelsea to lose it in 2008 because John Terry slipped. When he took that spot kick, John Terry slipped, or else that was goal. Van der Sar had dived to the right on the wrong side. Chelsea had, John Terry had gone to the left of Van der Sar. He slipped. In spite of him slipping, the ball hit the post. I mean, like it was written. I mean, that was a moment wherein Chelsea thought it was written in the stars for them to win the UCL in 2008 in Moscow. But they didn't. It was a heartbreaking
Well,
season
Chelsea
for them.
won. They're 2 times Champions League winners.
It was 4 years later. 4 years later, they won from 2008 to 2012. There is UCL can't be that easy. It was the first final that City had been to. So hard luck to them. Let's see what happens.
Now, on the back of that, I have another question. Who do you think has been the signing of the year for the Premier League? Who do you think has been the best signing? You've had a couple. Liverpool didn't they were champions. They came in third. City was second. They came in first. United came in from left field, you can say. And what do you think? Who do you think was a transfer?
I think
which transfer made the biggest difference?
Ruben Dias. It's definitely Ruben Dias, but because I will say one of the big reasons. I mean, the reason why I'm taking this defender's name right now is it is not just forwards. When they come to a team, they have this ability to single-handedly win the game.
Okay,
that is what they do. Forwards, they win you games, and that is why you need to have a very, very good forward or a world-class striker. Okay, but the thing is that to win a league, you need a strong defensive unit.
Okay,
and this cannot be done by just one signing. It is not. You have to have a proper signing. It is not just that one person, he will be taking care of he will do all the defensive work. No, he has to work it has to work as a unit. The person who shares that responsibility of all the people around him in the defensive unit. That is what Ruben Dias was for Man City. It was not just him. He somehow got even the best out of John Stones also.
Yep.
John Stones, since had 50 million signing from Everton, he was a golden boy for I don't know for how many long years for the English pundits. Oh, because we have a central defender who can pass, he can play from the back and all this setup. But we know that John Stones hadn't lived up to his transfer value, but finally he has. Ruben Dias got even the best out of him also.
Okay.
John Stones looked so comfortable, and also the fact that he had Fernandinho and Rodri in front of him helped. It was also changing of tactics from Pep Guardiola, because you can see the number of goals that you can associate with.
It was 81 goals that they scored. That's not a Pep team, right?
Yeah, it is not a bad. It is not bad, but I can actually say Atalanta in Italy, they have scored more.
Yeah.
The thing is that Pep Guardiola's team always score more than 100 to win a league. But this time, Guardiola, he curtailed he played with what was necessary in front of him. He wanted that discipline more.
So you think that Pep learned from his mistakes from last year? Because Liverpool had an amazing defense last year, and they backed it up by winning the league with the number of clean sheets that they had. And then this year, Pep put the importance on defense and making sure that they were strong in the middle, because a Pep team is a guarantee that they can score as many as they want.
Yes, exactly. Pep Guardiola rightfully actually tweaked his tactics a bit, gave importance to defense. I think for the first time in his entire career, actually, he had a proper defensive discipline with his team. He had a plan. He had a proper defensive plan with his team all throughout the year. That is the reason why when in this beginning of the year, just struggled a bit with some of the results, especially when Liverpool went top of the table in the month of December, right? You go and check. City were nowhere close or nearby also. It was Spurs, Liverpool. First Spurs were on top, then Liverpool went on top. these were the two teams that were in the talking actually, and Leicester were also there. Then slowly Man City crept through. It was because of the defense unit. It started clicking. This is what Pep actually did. That is why I think he won Manager of the Season for that. But this person, he should have just. I mean, like, I don't know whether it was his instinct or whether it is his habit or something that is how he sees football and how he sees the final should be played. He comes up with formation with only forwards, no striker, no defensive midfielder. Yeah. So that's how he could have had a fantastic year. Actually, he could have become actually the greatest manager ever had he won that final. But right now, rightfully, people have started doubting him. You cannot be that stupid, especially in a
He
Champions
hasn't.
League.
He didn't win. And to go back to something you said Spurs and Liverpool were on top. They were jostling for the top position in December. Well,
Yes.
Liverpool finished third by the scruff of their neck because they went on a unbeaten run for about a few weeks, and that happened.
Post-March, last 10 games, I think. 8 to 10 games.
Yeah. So that happened, and then Spurs dropped off the radar. So what do you think happened over there? Where do you think these guys went wrong? Like with Liverpool. So let's do this. Two teams, it's a given. If you're on top of the league in December, you're going to be winning the league. Liverpool have the whole thing of they've been on top in December and they haven't won it. It's happened before.
It's actually, I think, this is the fourth time.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened to Liverpool.
I mean, like, this is the fourth time that Liverpool were on top of the league during Christmas, that is halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And Liverpool is the only team that has lost thrice after being on top in the month of December. Last year, somehow, because of the huge gulf of point difference between various teams, somehow Liverpool won. The last two times, I think one was under Rafa Benitez in 2008. It was 2008 Christmas, and the second was, I think, 2013 with under Brendan Rodgers. That was the second time we were on top during the Christmas.
Yeah, and Suarez and Gerrard and the entire
Suarez, Sturridge, Gerrard, Coutinho.
Yeah,
and once again this season, I think and that was the only sticking point for me when we won 7-0 against Crystal Palace. We were on top of the league, and I was like wondering, okay, dude, what is going to happen? You know that finishing on top of the Christmas, that is something bad. But then again, we have just won only one Premier League, and I don't think I should read too much into that. I think it was mainly because of the owners. They did not invest in the team properly. They should have actually strengthened. They should have strengthened once actually Lotg left the team itself. They knew what kind of a injury record Matip had, and they had only two starting defenders with them. And the season also, there was no break in between.
Yeah,
they should have reinforced the team. They threw away two of these youngsters' name who had just come up from the academy. Okay, in preseason, it is a time when you give chances to youngsters. That is how the system is. That is what the tradition is, and that should always be how and what preseason should be about. But it is actually owners. I want to specify this once again. It is the owners of Liverpool FC that have left on Klopp and all the Liverpool fans. If at all they continue this once more, I mean, like, if at all this continues for a year or two, I think Klopp is going to say enough is enough, and he's going to leave. And trust me, no Liverpool fan is going to say anything against Klopp. They will be very, very happy that Klopp gave them one of the best years of their lives as a Liverpool fans, and there will be banners, and the entire city of Liverpool will be burning for FSG banners. And
that is for sure. That is for sure. And we have an entire segment about our thoughts of Liverpool, who've had an amazing run under Klopp. And if this is how it's going to be, you have a prediction from Sujay in 2 years' time. If how things are happening in Liverpool, Klopp will be leaving. And I second that point because it's been an amazing 4 years of how the club has developed. And they've been on top of world football for the past 3 years. They've been one of the top teams to beat. They've had a struggle, pandemic, post-pandemic. You had the Super League and all of these other things. But we will be talking more in depth about a few clubs, Liverpool involved, City is there. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. The videos are going to be coming up. Love of the game is not just about football, but we have a lot of other things. Before we finish on the review of the Premier League, Spurs, we've had the Amazon Prime, they had the whole thing about Spurs. Yeah, they spoke about them. City have just recently lost Aguero, and we've just lost Sujay for a bit. So let's just technical difficulties. We'll just get Sujay back, and I can conclude this segment because I have a question for him about Spurs. Sujay, your camera.
Yeah, it's overheating actually. Irium, my mobile. So the mobile automatically closed it. I think I will be coming to the HP.
Yeah, come back to your laptop thing. Yeah. Okay, so one sec. Yeah. So Sujay, before we conclude the entire thing about the Premier League, Spurs, they had the Amazon Prime, all or nothing, Tottenham Hotspurs. They had Mourinho. Now, big question going into this summer.
Okay.
They finished not where they wanted to finish. They don't have a manager. There's a whole thing. They want to get Pochettino back, but yeah, I don't think Pochettino will come back after everything, the snub that he had. Again, all or nothing, Amazon Prime. Make sure you watch it. It's a good series. It gives you insight. What do you think about Harry Kane? Harry Kane, will he stay? Will he go? Because he's come out and said he wants to win championships. And given Spurs under Mr. Levy, it looks more like an investment bank than a place where you're going to be number one or win anything. So do you think, as a conclusion to our review of the Premier League, Harry Kane, who's been a leading scorer for Spurs over the years, the number one guy for England, will he be in Tottenham Hotspurs next year?
No, he shouldn't be. We're talking about Spurs in total. Let me come in order. I think Mourinho was had only because they wanted a big actor or a very big name or someone who is good in a documentary. I don't know how tactically whatever the Spurs are known to be. To place, to pass the ball or something like that. They have the something like. Mourinho was a good experiment for them for the first time. I think he in recent times he's a very very big profile signing for Tottenham Hotspur. But we should also know that Mourinho is kind of a dinosaur right now. His tactics, his way of football, it's almost extinct. Football has gone leaps and bounds beyond because that is what Guardiola has done to the world of football. You might like it, you might hate it, you might give all the reasons that he goes to $1 billion teams, this, that, and all. But let's not kid ourselves. Since his revolutionary tactics with Barcelona, the tiki-taka or whatever, you can call it anything, but they give you the
possession football.
Yeah, exactly. The possession-based football. He changed the way wherein how football is looked into, how it is to actually win the matches. And this is what most of the owners and most of the fans would love to see. Attacking good football. Okay, so Mourinho is someone who is a total. I mean, he knows how to win titles. That is what he's known for. And Spurs had gotten him only just for that same reason because they haven't won anything. And I think the owners of Spurs, I don't know. I seriously doubt their intentions whether they want to win trophies or not. I think they are more interested in making money than actually winning trophies. Yeah, it is true how it relates to winning trophies relates to making money and all, but no, it doesn't actually. There is another form of economics that is what Levy and his owner probably are very, very good at. If at all you become top and you go on the top, fans ask you to actually keep on winning and you have to invest a lot more than the returns that you get. So if at all you are just on the brink of it, start and you keep overachieving and you're punching above your weight. And that is what Spurs have traditionally been doing. And that is what they're very much comfortable in doing. And that is what they'll be doing right now with Harry Kane, because they know the bunch that they had. They had these three players. I mean, like they had this generation. Earlier, it was a generation of Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, and Levy made a big money out of sale of these two players to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
right now, he's expecting the same thing. Right now, it was a generation of Harry Kane, Son, and Dele Alli. Dele
But
Alli
Dele
has
Alli
been
went backwards. He's gone backwards
yeah,
over the past
exactly.
2 years. But Harry Kane with a
Yeah,
150 million tag, do you think he will stay or go?
first of all, I think no one will be paying anyone more than 100 million in this transfer season. I think even whoever signs Harry Kane, they should also not be paying more than 100 million. And if some team or some director of football is convincing their club owner that if they should pay 150 million for a 28-year-old English striker who has then I think that person, whoever is suggesting to the owner, that owner should fire that person immediately. Don't even think
But
about it twice.
what if Harry Kane is the difference maker? Because it's just not his goals. It's about he comes with the goals. He also comes with a lot of assists also. He can create opportunity for others in the team. And could he be the missing piece? Maybe a City needs or a
So,
United. Like you never know. Let's think about City. Like, could he have been the difference maker on their team to win the Champions League?
yes and no. I will give two reasons here. One of the biggest reason, yeah, he will be an excellent addition to the City team. But we should understand here right now, this entire Spurs for the past 3-4 years, they were built. They were built with only one objective. It was a one-man team. Pass the ball to Harry. Pass the ball to Harry. Pass the ball to Harry. That was their only. What do you call? I'm like the team was totally built around him. And that is why Sean always gets some spaces to run beyond defenders because team are trying to track back Harry Kane. And
Yes.
this is a season wherein he has had so many assists because, yeah, once again, team are tracking him. It is like that is what Liverpool did in the final of 2008, this thing also, Champions League final. And he's a mainstay right now in Spurs team, the team that is totally built around him. But once he moves to City, it is not the same case.
So do you think he'll move
There's
to
a lot of
City
weaknesses
or
in
could he
City.
move to France,
He has to
PSG?
adjust being not the main person. He has to adjust being not the main person. Not all this. He's not going to get all the services from all the forwards only to him. There are other any forwards out there. If at all he goes to City, he has got selfish strikers like Sterling out there, Mahrez.
But that's fine, right? But
Sometimes
what if that leads him to winning the league? What if that leads him to winning championships and getting medal? Because like
see
at
the
the
thing that
end of the day, you are going to be judged by how much you've won, right?
that once again that is a decision Harry Kane should make for himself. It is not that definitely in the last 4 years City have won three leagues. They
Yes.
have done it without league. Without a Harry Kane in the team. City knows how to win the league. Right now, it is left for Kane. What does he want to do? He should have left some 2 to 3 years ago itself. And it is not for money that he stayed back at Spurs. I'm definitely for sure because he's getting paid peanuts over there compared to other strikers in English league. Someone who is, who's scoring 30 goals and has having somewhere around 50, 20 assists and all. He should be the highest paid striker in the league. Actually, highest paid player in the league. I don't know who is right
That's
now.
high
But
praises to say Harry Kane deserves that much. So, okay. What about PSG? What about Harry Kane going to PSG because of the Pochettino connection?
Two things out here. I would like to make 2 points. The first one is, Pochettino got the best out of him, and Harry Kane actually grew under him a lot. I think it was ABB or I don't know whether it was who is that? Who is that Spurs manager after AB? I think it was ABB who gave him the chance. But yeah, he has grown a lot under Pochettino. He's had his time under him. But career of a footballer, it's a very limited one. Pochettino, for all, is good and not, but he is at best a mid-table manager. When you have the chance
Forget
to work
about
under
mid-table
the managers in the
managers.
game,
I'm
yeah, best
asking
is
you, Harry Kane. He's
yeah,
not
that
going
is
to be at Spurs because Spurs aren't going to win anything for the next 100 years, no matter how much money they invest in everything else on the stadium and everything. Harry Kane, will he stay in the Premier League or will he move out? Is my question. And don't go any other manager, nothing. I want this right now because this is how it's going to end, and this is what we're going to be ending on because he is England's crown jewel at the moment. Not taking away from all the 17-year-olds, he is a piece. Can he be the difference maker that makes City or even PSG win the Champions League? Because both of them know how to win their leagues. But the French league, we've already spoken the links here on the thoughts about the French league. You can go have a look. But will Kane stay in England or not? Give me a yes or no.
Yes.
At City or at someone else?
The only team that can take Harry Kane out of England is Real Madrid. And I don't think even Barcelona can tempt him away. The only team that he might be tempted is Real Madrid, not even Bayern Munich. And please, let's stop giving this much of platitude for PSG. I still think they're a lesser team than even Southampton or West Ham. I don't think they had a better season than even West Ham. West Ham had a better season than them. Yeah, let's keep them where and how PSG should be kept. No, never.
Okay.
And I will lose all the respect that I have for Harry Kane or any player who's at the peak of his game, moves to PSG just because of money. And this includes even Neymar also. And if at all you want to see how a person's life will be, what he can be, I mean, like, see, I'm sorry, dude. We can make an entire segment out of this Neymar person as a footballer, whatever he is. But I'm extremely sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's good. It's good. I just wanted your honest thoughts. So you're thinking Harry Kane, any European team, namely Real Madrid, nowhere else, yes. Real Madrid. And we'll talk about that more in our review of the Spanish league. That video is also up. Have a look. You'll get an idea about if Kane is the investment that they're looking for, or will Kane land up in an English team. And on that note, from us here at Love of the Game, thank you guys all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. There's more content along the way, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys.